Get it started. Roll call.
Dr. Cordellino? Here. Mrs. Fano?
Here.
Mr. Palma?
Here.
Mr. Petrosino?
Here.
Mr. Rappaport?
Here.
Mrs. Smith? Mrs. Zuckerman?
Here.
Mr. Daughtry?
Here.
Dr. Modrak?
Here.
Ms. Ammer?
Here.
Mr. Blumenthal?
Pledge allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the open public meeting notice, please.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record and the Montville Tap Into, the board's official newspapers, on November 3rd, 2025.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ammer, you get to do the whole report by yourself. Yeah.
So, in the past at Montville Township High School, on November 19th, there was a Share the Keys program in the auditorium where students and parents were able to learn about driver safety. FBLA hosted their annual badminton tournament after school from 2:30 to 4 p.m. on November 19th. On November 20th, the 9th and 10th grade night in the auditorium. In this program, underclassmen and their parents were able to attend to hear from multiple students and guidance counselors about college application processes and more. The Montville Theater Company had auditions for their spring musical, Sweeney Todd, on Wednesday, November 19th from 3:45 to 6:30 p.m. in the choir room. Key Club hosted a food drive for Thanksgiving. The senior banquet took place on December 5th from 6 to 10 p.m. at El Tulupano. On December 9th, members of the orchestra, band, and choir had their winter concert in the auditorium from 7 to 9:30 p.m. The National Honor Society hosted a toy drive last week for underprivileged children. In sports, swim season has started as their boys' swim meet is today. The boys are currently 0-2 on their season, and the girls are 1-1. Boys ice hockey had a game yesterday against Madison. They're currently 0-3. Bowling has had their sixth game today against Roxbury at 3:30 p.m. They're currently 5-0. Boys basketball has their season opener against Mendham today at 7 p.m. Girls basketball also has their season opener today away versus Roxbury today at 7 p.m. In present times, we are delighted to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Mrs. Huang on being awarded Educator of the Year in 2025 by the New Jersey Chinese Teachers Association. This recognition is a testament to her dedication, outstanding contributions, and exemplary leadership in the field of Chinese language education in NJ. As the Educator of the Year, she serves as an inspiration to her peers, students, and the broader community. Her commitment to excel has undoubtedly elevated the standards of our educational landscape. Spirit Week continues through this week with themes being Flannel Day on Tuesday, where students wear their best flannels for a warm winter vibe. Jersey Day on Thursday, where students rep their favorite sports jersey. Winter Wear Day on Friday is a day where students wear their best winter or ski-themed gear. Spirit Week goes into next week with Teacher Day on Monday, where students dress as their favorite teacher and teachers dress like students. And for our Pep Rally Day next Tuesday, we have Sweater Weather Day, where students put on a cozy or ugly sweater for the pep rally. The pep rally is being hosted on December 23rd. The events of the day include faculty versus student basketball games, where teachers face off against students in a friendly but competitive basketball game. Musical chairs, where students compete for a seat as music stops and plays, with one chair being removed each round. Box stacking challenge, where teams race to stack presents as high as they can as possible without them falling. December 23rd is a half day, starting the beginning of winter break. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And as another reminder, as I do all the time, all the sporting events here at the high school are free and open to the public. Come and enjoy. It's warm and they're exciting. So, okay, thank you so much. Okay, superintendent's report. Would you like to go
Yeah,
to
we're going to
Woodmont?
bring Woodmont right in. So come on down.
Yeah.
So we have a wonderful presentation tonight. We have the Woodmont Choral. They're going to be coming here doing some holiday treats for us. And we're very excited. So I'm going to ask the board, make yourself comfortable if you want to get in front or wherever you feel you want to sit. I think we have close to 30 students here. They're under the guidance of Olivia Benson, who's doing a great job with these students, and you can see for yourself. Love the spirit. Love the hats and antlers. That was wonderful. Thank you, Woodmont, and all our singers. Much more advanced than when we were in school. We didn't
Yeah.
break out the kazoos or do anything like that, right? I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, Dr. Gorman, before they leave, I just
Yeah.
want to say, I'm not sure who that young man was playing percussion, but he was absolutely remarkable. That's an awfully hard trick just to juggle all these things at once. I know just from being in band, some of them, it's like, okay, play cymbals, now a couple play the cowbell, a couple, but he was going from one to the other, and he really did quite a job. Very proud of him.
Oh, there he is. There you go.
Everyone else is fifth grade, but we had a fourth grader percussionist who's very special. Okay, hello. My name's Olivia Betson. It's my first year here at Woodmont. I'm very excited to be at Montville Public Schools. The children just did their wonderful concert on Friday. And the fourth and fifth grade sang. Fourth grade sang 2 songs, fifth grade sang 2 songs, and we ended with our beautiful kazoo piece. I think everyone was very happy, and we brought a lot of cheer to Woodmont and our community. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you for letting us come and join and bring you a little bit of cheer. I call this the Holiday Cheer Choir. So we appreciate your time during your board meeting. And I want to also truly thank the families for taking the time out of your evening. I know it's a lot. So it was a wonderful thing that you brought your children to share. So I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Doing a wonderful job, absolutely. Having the arts program, especially at the lower levels, this is not common in every district in the country. So we're very fortunate to have this, and very excited. And we were just at the high school concert 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and you just see how much they progress over the years, and it's just wonderful. So this is where it starts, with the foundation there. So thank you very much for everything. All right. Parents, you're welcome to stay, or you could go collect your kids, or, you know, we'll be here all night. That was the highlight of the night, so you're more than welcome to stay.
We'll be somewhere else. Okay. So, Dr. Gorman, would you like to continue on with your report when you get back?
Yeah.
To the packed audience.
So moving from such a wonderful theme, unfortunately, I have to do the state mandated reporting out of student safety data. So this is for 24-25, and this is for the second half of the year of last year. So I'll just briefly go over the totals and how it changed from last year. For violence, we had 2 more incidents last year. And that was at Lazar. They went from 0 to 2. Vandalism, we went down 6 cases. We had 6 of them at the high school for the same time period, but it went down. So that was a big improvement. Substance abuse, we had at the high school 1, and then we had 2, and that was up from 1 the previous year. Weapons, we had 0, which was down from 1 at the high school. And HIB confirmed, we were up +5, and that was a little bit more at Lazar than we would have liked. Other incidents leading to removal, and that's with anything that you removed for anything I didn't describe there. So it could have been just anything from like inappropriate language to a teacher or something like that. But we were up 5 with, up 6, and that was mostly at the high school. And then HIB alleged, we were down 7 cases overall. So again, when you think about this and you add them all up, extremely small percentage of what's going on when you think about the 3,500 students in our district. So I'm pleased to report that. However, we're still trying to stamp out all the HIB and all the other incidents that we have throughout the day. That's my report.
And that's probably compares very favorably to other schools. So.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Compared to like schools of us, yes.
We're in good shape.
Correct.
Business administrator's report. Continue, anything?
No report. We'll talk in January.
We'll talk in January. Okay. Let's move on to committee reports. Facilities and Finance. Karen?
The Facilities and Finance Committee met right before this meeting, and Katine once again provided some information about our fund balances. challenges that we're facing for the 2026-2027 school year, an update on summer projects, and happy to report that all of the vestibules at 6 of our 7 schools are complete. And we had a very good discussion about our food service provider, Chartwell's.
Okay, thank you. Michelle, curriculum?
Yeah, the curriculum committee met on December 8th, and it was a very productive meeting. As we do this time every year, Mrs. Woodring presented us with the updated program of studies for the high school. And there's a lot of different administrative changes and so forth. But of note, some new classes that we'll be offering next year include AP Business with Personal Finance, as well as Wind Ensemble in the band and music department, an Algebra 1 course designed for students with significant gaps in prior mathematical learning that will help address needs of some of our students. And then in addition, there's new classes in the American Sign Language department now that the students are moving up the grades and having that more years. We also discussed how this year, 25-26, the district is undergoing our QSAC review. And so Dr. Woodring and her departments and all the appropriate administration has been preparing for that. I shouldn't jinx anything, but we do very well, and we expect good results again this year with that report. We also received updates on the action-based learning, ABL, and changes to elementary schedule that happened there. The ABL initiative continues to yield very positive outcomes, and the administration, as a result, is exploring opportunities to expand it into more classrooms. Teachers have reported improvements in both student behavior and their academic performance within the existing ABL settings. And there was also recent donation to the SIL program that enabled the middle school and high school SIL classrooms to be outfitted with ABL furniture. So there's support for those students as well. So there's also additional professional development being offered to the teachers in the spring to support the expansion of the program. Dr. Gorman also reported that the Amplify CKLA is progressing exceptionally well at the elementary level. So students are demonstrating, as a result, high levels of enthusiasm and engagement with programs where they're developing foundational knowledge in areas such as Greek and Roman mythology, the Renaissance, the human body, and other important content domains. So, and then the change to the elementary schedule, where we have departmentalization of mathematics, science, and social studies in both grades 4 and 5. It has increased the educational instruction time in those subjects. And we have our teachers at those levels emerging as true content specialists, and we're hearing there's a lot of enthusiasm, and it seems to be being received very well by the students, the parents, the teachers, and we feel like that's been across the district at our elementary schools a very positive change. So very productive meeting with a lot of good information. Keep up the good work.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, policy, John?
Policy met on December 4th. There were 4 Strauss ESME updates, which there was some discussion on, but we agreed to move forward. And the one regarding noisemakers, which was our own update, the draft policy that was up for discussion at the last meeting and prior meetings, we decided to keep that in place, but we accepted scholastic events from that policy. Regarding scholastic events, we just made a
You mean athletic events, you mean?
I'm sorry. Athletics.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. We accepted athletic events, and we let it be more open to the NJ I keep saying Scholastic. NJSIAA rule, which is much more broad and doesn't reference specific noise makers, but it just references loud, sustained, disruptive noises, which we thought would give more leeway to the people at the event to make the decision.
Can I ask a question?
If you can ask a question, yes.
I'm just to clarify. So the noisemakers will be allowed indoors? I can understand the outdoor activities, but indoors as well?
So it leaves it up to the NJSA rules, which says that loud, disruptive, sustained noises are not to be allowed. So that would be, to interpret that language would be up to the people in charge at that sporting event, indoors or outdoors. We specifically, kept the no ban on noisemaker policy allowed for all other events.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Joe, communications?
Yes, we met last week. Just went over a couple items in discussion regarding the superintendent's column, our community connections newsletter, the use of social media, how the schools are putting out all the stuff that's going on throughout the district. Discussed news articles that are going out through the TAP, Citizen Daily Record. Discussed Apogee regarding the website, and also the transition from Schoology to Google Classroom, how well that's been going. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Christine. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, safety. Any news from the safety committee?
Yes, so I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Michael Rappaport, who was so kind as to take over when my Wi-Fi was not functioning. So thank you for running the meeting, Michael. Go ahead.
All right, no problem. So we first talked about the elementary SLEO, the Special Law Enforcement Officer, Officer Tommy, who's been a big hit at the elementary schools. He's getting comfortable there, and the kids are getting very comfortable with him. And the elementary schools are getting used to how to best utilize him. For example, when there's outdoor events, the elementary schools are now requesting him, not in 17-degree temperatures now, but requesting him to show up on those specific days rather than just the days that he's normally scheduled. Second item is the SLEO at Lazar decided to stay because we as a Board of Ed voted to increase the pay for the SLEO position, and that was enough incentive for him to stay. So he is continuing to work, and he's very happy working with the district. The security vestibules are all in progress, except for Hilldale, which there's still some construction issues going on there. But the goal is to have the vestibules completed by the start of the new year, start of the school year in January. The visitor ID system. As soon as the security vestibules are done, the next item up will be the Raptor visitor ID system, which will be installed, and we'll begin using that as well. And they'll be integrated as part of the security vestibule system. One of the things that people may have noticed is that information about contact information and staff information have been removed from our website. That's because there's been a lot of scraping going on where bad actors would scrape the website, collect IDs, phone numbers, email addresses, and use that to attempt to break into the school systems. So all that had to be removed. The only thing that's left are the administrators. The principals and the administrative team are still on the website, but everyone else has been removed to help eliminate as much of that nefarious actions as possible. The next item up is the Gaggle software monitoring system. It seems to be working and doing what it's been intended to do. It is monitoring the communications of students when they're on school systems. So if something concerning does pop up, the appropriate counselors are alerted at the various schools so they can get involved and find out what's happening and resolve the situation as quickly as they can. Obviously, Gaggle only works for school supported technology emails, whatever it is. Students can still use home phones and computers, but that's outside of the school's control. And the last item we talked about was some sidewalk safety, and we discussed that we'll probably it would be beneficial if there were some additional sidewalks, maybe leading to Lazar or leading to Woodmont, and that's something that we want to continue to have discussions with and have discussions with the town to see if things can be done to help alleviate those situations. And that was it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on any of the committees? Nope. Okay. Delegate Liaison, New Jersey School Boards, Karen.
Thank you, David. Where did my... There we go. So on December 6th, I attended the Legislative Committee meeting of the New Jersey School Boards Association. This is a committee that interfaces with our legislators quite a bit. And we had with us that morning Senator Gopal, who's very generous with his time and answered many questions for us. We also talked about a number of bills that are moving, and I won't go through all of them, but I will go through just a couple that would be of interest. So the first is a district consolidation without voter approval. Now, this is a bill that is sponsored by Senator Gopal, and he explained at the committee meeting that they're really looking at districts that are less than 500 students. Of course, none of us would want to see forced consolidation, and I think he's aware of that. Limiting it to school districts of 500 would be less painful. There is a joint legislative statesman task force to promote the importance of civility to students in grades kindergarten through 12. There were a number of bills having to do with school funding. The legislature seems to be interested in this topic at this time, so that's important for us. Jonathan Pushman, our GR director, did say expect activity in the legislature by the next budget cycle. There is also a bill sharing pilot revenue with schools, S3915. It requires municipalities to share certain payments in lieu of property taxes with school districts, inform counties, school districts, and DCA of certain information related to property tax exemptions and abatements. This is obviously something we've been looking for, so we have to keep our eye on that and certainly advocate for that. There's a pilot program of therapy dogs, which would establish a program in the DOE to use therapy dogs in public elementary school wellness programs. There are a couple of bills that deal with charter school transparency, would establish various requirements for charter schools, charter school board of trustee members, and charter management organizations. Almost done. And again, just some bills on school funding. And the other thing I just wanted to report on, speaking of civility, unfortunately, some school districts, not ours, struggle with civility among each themselves, the public. So NJSBA will be launching a Civility Starts With Us in the first quarter of 2026. It's envisioned that the civility initiative will be led by our Chief Member Engagement Officer, Ray Penny, to provide boards with various tools to combat confrontational and negative narratives. That's it.
Our attorney suggested cream pies.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Can argue and snack at the same time.
I am looking forward to more information on the funding. It's very important. Please keep
Yeah,
us
I gave you the bill number, right?
Yeah. No, but thank you. Okay, Mike Rappaport, Morris County Board.
I was unable to attend, but I've asked Joe to fill us in on a few words.
Sure. The event was to be held here on Tuesday, December 2nd. Unfortunately, the weather made it a virtual meeting that night. I know that several members of our board attended virtually, so I thank you for attending. The topic was empowering education, community voices for enhanced AI learning. I had worked with 3 other speakers, Dr. Barry Haynes from Mendham, Robin Sherbal from Wharton, and David Disler, an attorney from Mendham who actually was a graduate of the Montville District. They discussed strategies for integrating AI tools responsibly and equitably to enhance student outcomes, streamline administrative tasks, bridge communication gaps between schools, families, and the wider community. Our next meeting will be virtual on February 4th, and that topic is creating a positive school culture.
Okay, thank you. Let's stay with you, Joe, if you don't mind. Montville Municipal Alliance, former DAC.
Yes. They discussed some fundraising ideas for next year due to the fact that the grant that we usually get from the county has been reduced. So it's happening everywhere, money's drying up, so there's that.
Okay, and then Morris County Educational Services?
Yes, the auditors are finalizing their annual comprehensive financial report. Ed Services does not receive state aid or local tax dollars. So the audit is focused in on internal controls based on what they take in from revenue sources of their programs and the cost of operations.
Okay, thanks. John, Montville Athletic Boosters. No report.
No report.
I knew that was coming.
No meeting.
Christine, Special Education Parents Advisory Group.
Yes, thank you, David. So CPAG is having a virtual meeting in the first quarter of the year, and they just recently sent out a survey to all its members. They were trying to survey what the members would like to hear about, and they want to do a family and caregiver workshop. So that will probably happen in February or March.
Great. Okay, stay with you for a second here. Liaison to Hilldale. Anything going on at Hilldale? Christine?
Oh, no report.
Okay. Okay. Karen, Cedar Hill?
No report.
Caitlin. John, William Mason?
William Mason met on December 2nd. The main topics of the discussion were the construction projects. I think everyone's pleased that the vestibule's done, and we're just hoping the playground gets done as soon as possible.
Yeah, maybe when the ground thaws. Mike Palma, Woodmont.
We'll be meeting sometime in January. I don't know the date.
Okay, thanks. Michelle or Joe, Lazar, nothing? Nothing, okay. Mike?
Next meeting is January 12th.
Yeah, it's coming up. Okay, first public participation session. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please come forward to the microphone. Seeing none, let's move on. I ask for a consent resolution for section I through N.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, any questions on the minutes? Section I. Section J, gifts, grants, donations, etc. Okay, facilities and finance. Any questions on facilities and finance? Okay, personnel, section L, you have one.
Yes, L3, Dr. Shorter. Dr. Shorter, after 14 years as Assistant Superintendent of the district, has decided to retire at the end of the year. Dr. Shorter was instrumental in working closely with the administrative team and the board to stabilize the district, attract new talent, and raise the academic bar across the schools. Dr. Shorter has hired close to 2/3 of the personnel in the district today and works closely with each principal in their daily operations. Dr. Shorter has worked directly on projects such as finances, QSAC, which is the state monitoring system, state assessments, personnel, legal issues, and so much more. Dr. Shorter's retirement will be deeply felt across the district, and we wish him tremendous success and happiness in retirement.
But you're
Gonna
not
miss you.
leaving for a while.
We got 6 more months with him,
6
but
more months, okay.
Maybe we could convince you a little longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But just a couple of words about Casey. He managed our human resource department as you can imagine, it's a very busy department. It's a position with close relationships with the staff and the association. Not surprisingly, despite the potential for discord, Casey's fair and humanistic approach was reflected in the calm and efficiency of his department. And Casey, we're going to miss you a lot. Yeah.
I think so. But we will say our goodbyes later. We still have some time.
Would you like what we did for Charlie? Would that?
You have another one?
Yes. One more is we want to remove line L366.
Okay. Any questions on curriculum, section M?
No questions. I would like to just say a couple words about the program of studies, though. Okay. As a aficionado of the arts, I was very, very pleased to see the addition of a new course, wind ensemble, symphonic band. For all too long, we've just had one level of band, and it's never really been an ideal situation where you have levels of students from the very top to the very bottom, and I saw this as an opportunity to have differentiation. And this is a wonderful initiative on the parts of some very wonderful teachers who, I don't know if I can say the name, should I, or not? Or not? Don't? Okay. I can say? Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jasanovic at the high school, who's taken it, I think, to another level, say, I want to separate the kids who are really have a passion for music and let them do something. And I think there's an opportunity to let them do it, where they're going to have higher level music, more, I think, practice things that they have to do to put them on a higher level. I mean, having said that, this really isn't a true wind ensemble symphonic band thing. I think rather than having something based on level, I think it's really based more upon interest, where in a true wind ensemble, you'd have the director saying, I'm selecting these kids who have the ability to be in the upper level group, and the others can work their way toward it. Now, the way we have it now, I think, is really based more on interest than it is on ability, and to the extent that it gives the kids the opportunity to spread their wings and do something that they might not have been able to do is a really good thing. And I think I always said to my kids, the best friends you're going to make are the friends you make in band when you're in high school. And I think this may encourage some camaraderie between the kids, keep them interested in the program, and hopefully keep our numbers up as time goes on. The only thing I would say is that I'm trusting that there's going to be some internal gatekeeping, such that the only requisite right now is that the kid says they want to be in wind ensemble, and that does kind of, to some extent, defeat the whole purpose of saying the upper level kids and the lower level kids aren't necessarily going to go together. But I think we're hoping that this is something in the future is going to bring them to a higher level, and hopefully the gatekeeping is such that maybe the kids who maybe shouldn't be in there might be said, okay, well, no, maybe you might want to consider staying with symphonic band for another year. But I do truly appreciate the initiative. I think we're going to keep our eye on it, see how it is at the end of the year. And again, I salute the instructor for taking the initiative to create this program, and Mr. Fleischman as well. And the heart is definitely in the right place, and hopefully this is going to be a very good thing for the district.
Well, I think you said it correctly, that they're going to keep an eye on it and check in with it later and make sure it's progressing as appropriate. So we trust them. Okay, any questions on policy? Yes, sir.
I have concerns about policy 8870, the use of the noisemakers. So I just wrote down a few points of concern. The first is in the list of in the list of noisemakers that's in there, for example, there's amplified sound devices. So based on the way the policy reads, if someone brings their battery-powered Bose speaker, which is about the size of this water bottle, and they set it up prior to an outdoor event and they play some music, they're technically in violation of this policy. And I don't think that is what we were intending by having the noisemaker policy. The second point is under the prohibition section C1. It talks about use or possession of noisemakers. So as this policy is written, if there's a gym teacher who lives in town but works in a different district, just for example, they race from their district back to our school district to watch their child perform, but their whistle is in their pocket. That's technically in violation of the policy. And that's not what we were intending by the noisemaker policy either. So I think that's also an issue. Then there's any other formal school function. Formal is not really defined anywhere. So what is a formal school function? Is anything that's sponsored by the school formal? So is even a football game or soccer game, is that considered formal? Which then goes against the athletic, the non-athletic events that's in the title. It just doesn't line up clearly. And I so in the title it says non-athletic events, but anywhere in the body it doesn't talk about non-athletic events. It just says, what did it say? It says not limited to. There's, including but not limited to. So if it's not limited to this list, well, then athletic events can be included in that list. So I think this policy is a little too broad, and it's covering things that I don't think we really intend to cover. And I think it puts the principals or people who need to enforce this policy in a very hard position to enforce it. I think it would be much better served if it was extremely narrow to what we really want to take care of, which is something we had talked about last time, was specifically air horns, maybe something else as well, but just to narrow this down to just what we really want to cover and not make it so broad. And so I was going to stop there, let everyone else talk about it, but then at the end, I'm going to make a motion to remove it from the agenda.
Okay. Can I just direct you to the purpose of this policy, Section A, which states that it's to ensure that school ceremonies and events are conducted in a respectful, safe, and orderly manner. Use of artificial noisemakers and similar devices may disrupt proceedings, interfere with communication, and distract from the occasion. I think having a whistle in your pocket does not fulfill that purpose, does not satisfy that portion of the policy. I don't think that would really be a concern at that point. As far as the sporting events go, you're right, it doesn't say sporting events in here, but it does specify that district-sponsored events on school property are formal events.
David, it does, in the
Yeah,
last
it does
sentence
say
of
they're
it-
exempted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't finish Section A. Also, it says in the top, non-athletic. So non-athletic events, so it wouldn't apply to athletic events.
Well, more than just the title on the body, it says.
Yeah, but
this
also on the
policy
body,
does not
but it
include
also says it in the
athletic
title.
events. But I get your point about the others. I'm in agreement with Dave a little bit that it goes against the general purpose.
Yeah, go ahead. Clarify us for us, please.
Well,
Yeah, press it again, one more time. There you go, you got it.
I don't know that it'll clarify anything, but we spend a lot of our time as school lawyers dealing with the enforcement of policies. And in every instance, you just have to trust the people that administer your district and administer these events to have at least a modicum of judgment when they follow policies. I don't think you say anything wrong. I think everything you said is very plausible. But I could do that to every policy in the book. I think that this is a common problem with school district policies, that they often contain language that simply require good judgment by the professionals who administer them. That's just my 2 cents.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other comments about the questions raised about the policy? Karen, you're...
I think policy is intended to be broad, and I think, like Steve said, we have to trust the folks who are enforcing the policy to have good judgment.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what Section A says, use your judgment. Any other questions about the policy? No? Okay. If you're going to make a motion to take it off, you have to...
There's already motion on the table.
Okay, is there a second for that motion?
You're in the middle of a motion to approve
Right.
the agenda.
But he wants to take this
Now
off.
is not the time. You're in the middle of some other motion.
So we can't, so he cannot make a motion to remove this from the agenda.
Not right in the middle. Could have done it at the beginning. He could move to lay it on the table if he wishes.
Or he could just vote no, right?
Or he could just vote
No. Okay. Okay, well, I guess that's where we are right now. So if there are no further questions on policy, we need a roll call vote.
Mrs. Zuckerman?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Dr. Cordellino?
Yes.
Mrs. Fano?
Yes.
Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino?
Yes.
Mr. Rappaport?
No on policy 8870. Yes to everything else.
Dr. Modrak?
Yes. Okay, going on to old business. We have the Board of Election meeting schedule. Now, are we allowed to vote on this at this meet? We're not allowed to vote on that at this meeting, are we?
No.
Or we can discuss it if we want. Would,
You can discuss it, but you can't act on it.
yeah, we can act on it, okay. Would people like to discuss this now?
I'm sorry.
Would anyone like to discuss our Board of Education meeting schedule for next year? Karen, is that you?
No.
No?
I'll make a comment on it. I think
Okay.
after looking at both options we have and having a brief discussion with some other members and talking with administration, that we can go with the second option, option B, just as my thoughts. And that if we needed to have a second meeting in April for budgetary reasons, we could always have a special meeting. Or, a second meeting in the fall if we need one in October as well. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Are there any other general board comments or new business?
Does the administration have a preference for A or B?
We work on the, no, we don't have a preference. Whatever the board would like to do, we'll make everything work, so.
I am a fan of having our meetings twice a month. I laid that out a few weeks ago. But I'm like, what would be the motive to want to go to once a month other than our convenience?
Okay.
No one?
There
I mean,
The convenience of the administration, the staff.
is it the convenience of the administration?
Honestly, whatever the board wants to do, if you want to go to once a month, we will make that work. If you want to go to twice a month or have some kind of hybrid like you did this year, that's totally fine. We will make the appropriate adjustments to make everything work for you.
Well, there's no vote tonight, and we're going to have this discussion again in January at our organization meeting. So,
Just curious. what the motivation is. So maybe
I'd love to hear you really answer that question, Tom.
No, but I mean, it's true. I mean,
yeah.
so when we've had meetings this year so far, we've had once a month, we've adjusted the schedule for the staff to make sure that they get their field trips in on time and stuff. If the board decides to stick with once a month and is still willing to post-approve a lot of things, then that works well for us. If you go to twice a month, then you'll just see more of these things on the agenda. We would not have to post-approve or have as much planning involved in some of the field trips and other events because, they're coming up more on a more, regular basis. I think Karen's point is talking about also bringing us together sometimes, meeting more often in closed session and in public session. There's a positive to that. So it's really decides on what the board wants to do. We're seeing more and more virtual meetings. We're seeing more, the times are changing a little bit. So however works for the board. You see, I think, I don't know how many meetings we've had in a row that we're not having an audience here, but that's why we're trying to do other ways of communicate out there and get the messaging out, as I did with the financial super updates and things like that. So I'm not trying to cop out, but it's whatever the board's decision is on the schedules, we definitely will make it work.
I mean, I could certainly be convinced to go for once a month, but I would like to hear what some of the motives are for doing that. I mean, other than, it's 4 more meetings between option A and option B.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure we could save many thousands of dollars by only having one meeting versus two. And I don't know, Katine, I had asked you, maybe you compiled the list of legal costs, faculty costs that we would be saving by reducing the amount of meetings. And just on another point, I remember when I first came to the board 6 years ago, all the veteran Board of Ed members told me that the work happens during the committee meetings. That's where you're going to be spending the most time. And then you as a group then come to the board, and that's really, where the work is done. And I really feel that way. We all trust one another, and we're able to, if we're not on the committee, send an email to the committee chair to share our thoughts and opinions on things. So our ideas could be included. And I feel very confident with Dr. Gorman's weekly reports. I know what's going on daily. Anything emergency, he lets us know. He's only a phone call away, as well as Katine. I just feel we have such great administration. So anyway, I wanted to know what our savings would be if we reduced it.
In terms of cost related to meeting each meeting, there is a cost of somewhere between $700 to $800.
And Steve, are there any additional legal costs?
No, it breaks my heart to say this, but we don't charge separately for coming to board meetings. That's part of our annual retainer.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, my confidence in the administration has nothing to do with camaraderie as a board and meeting twice a month. And I think it's like tonight we had this wonderful performance by the 5th graders at Woodmont. And I know obviously we'll fill the schedule with student performances, but we'd get to have 4 more. I mean, this is why we do what we do, is to see those kids come here and perform for us.
We get to showcase the schools and see what they're doing and have them do robotics demonstrations, music, all types of other presentations. We recognize them quite frequently. I personally am also in favor of the 14 or 16 meetings a month, or 14 or 16 meetings a year that we typically have. I don't think that's too much to ask, but again, this is a discussion that we're going to be having in January.
And now.
And now.
May I remind the board of something that I say frequently to boards? What you have coming up next month is not a reorganization meeting. People call it that. That's wrong. It's an organization meeting. It's a new board every single year. And even if it's the same people as it will be here, it is still a new board. And people come to the organization meeting to see what's going to happen, and they probably are entitled to hear this discussion at the organization meeting.
Sounds good to me.
As opposed to now when there's nobody here.
I would say it's probably going to be all set again. But
Can I ask a question? Is there a reason we can't go with the schedule with more meetings, with the understanding that if Dr. Gorman feels we don't need a meeting, we can just cancel it a few days in advance? At least this way it's advertised, and it's easier to pull a meeting off than it is to put one on.
we can do a lot of different things, but
Well, with every meeting that we advertise, and there's a cost related to it. So if we are going to, we need to provide enough advance notice in order to eliminate those costs, because with every meeting, there's a cost.
okay. Why don't we move on then? Any other general board comments? You have something else to say?
I do.
Not about the calendar?
No,
Good.
not about the calendar. No, it's about the wonderful information that we get from Dr. Gorman. Like, for example, the central office steadily preparing for CUSAC, and they were complimented by the county superintendent for being a model district in the submission of our work. Congratulations. We need to celebrate this.
Yeah.
Celebrate tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
I would also like to congratulate Mr. Thompson for presenting at NJPSA's Principal and Supervisor Association inaugural Tech Summit. His topic is data privacy agreements. Again, our staff, they're out there, gaining publicity for themselves and for our schools, and this is wonderful. And the last thing I'll mention, and again, this is all in Dr. Gorman's report to us, there are planned visitations from other districts to see the wonderful things going on in our schools. For example, Hilldale will be hosting Fairfield, Morristown, and Ridgewood over 3 different days. They'll be coming to see our ELA program, Amplify, in action, and we'll be sharing information back and forth with the teachers who visit our classrooms. A future visit to see Ridgewood is in the planning stages. I feel so proud to be part of this district and part of the board. This is what it is. This is what it's all about. Our kids are getting the best education possible,
And I would also point out for other board members, Dr. Gorman also reaches out to other superintendents on a regular basis to discuss some of the common problems that we're all having, like the financial situations. And so he is actively working with talking to other superintendents to see what possible solutions we might be able to apply here to our district for the problems that we face.
You're absolutely right. And that's, the new purchasing of buses or consolidating some of our special ed bus routes have come to fruition because of that. So Katine and our Director of Special Services have been involved in those things. The visits for our elementary schools, they're just great. They bring teachers, we share teachers. They sit down, have lunch, they share in the classrooms. It's just a great work session for all these people to, just share this camaraderie that they have and try to solve the same problems that we're all trying to face. And the relationship we have with the county is great. And they were here the last time for CUSAC, which was 3 years ago. They complimented us then. They've been using us as a model for that. And that's the hard work of Andrea, Katine, Casey, and so many others that are doing a great job with that we're happy to share with our colleagues, and we're happy to get a positive report from them as well. So it's good stuff.
Thank you. Okay, so then we'll go on to our second public participation session. Anyone wishing to speak on any subject at all, come to the microphone. Seeing none, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. See you in, and happy holidays. See you in January.